everyone in this movie is oddly horny for Batman. Like the two villains and Dr. Chase Meridian, which is like already half of the cast, is unbelievably horny for this guy. Hi, I'm Mo. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Batman Forever, one of the two in the Joel Schumacher duology. Now, if you know me personally, like very, very close, you will know that I have personal experience with Joel Schumacher, because back in the year of our Lord 2020, and like up until like I guess like 2022, yeah, or like 3, I don't know, it felt like fucking eternity. I was really into Phantom of the Opera, and if you know anything about that, you would know that Joel Schumacher directed the 2004 Phantom of the Opera movie. And the reason I say 2004 is because that property is so fucking old. There's literally like 13 different movie and TV pieces related to Phantom of the Opera. I could talk about Phantom of the Opera, but that's a story for another day. But that info is forever locked in my skull. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about one of Joel Schumacher's more competent films. Sorry, Joel. Batman Forever. This movie is incredibly funny, and I can't believe I have to say this again, but do remember, everything I say, we are having fun. This is a joke. If you take anything I say, like any jokes I say seriously, and you try to mansplain, or not even mansplain, just try to explain to me why I'm wrong, babe, it's a joke. Don't take it seriously. We are fine. The fact that I have to say that is really concerning. Sarcasm is dead. Sarcasm is dead. Long live having to put tone indicators /J. Everything is /J. We're just here to have fun. We're here to just talk. Think of this as a FaceTime call. This is a FaceTime call, okay? Hold me to the same standards you would hold your best friend as you yap to them on a FaceTime call, okay? Okay. So this movie opens with Batman suiting up, and it's like a penis and ass shot, and I knew from the beginning that this movie was made for me, for Mo. So anyways, Alfred, he's about to go to the Batmobile, and Alfred's like, "Can I persuade you to take a sandwich, sir?" And Batman's like, "I'll get drugged through." If you've not seen that scene, it's comical. It is awesome. It is so funny. Anyways, Tommy Lee Jones plays Two-Face. Crazy, I know. Anyways, he's going to go fight Tommy Lee Jones, Two-Face, because Two-Face is causing some sort of commotion. We're not really sure what he's fucking. Why does it always happen with this dress? The strap that you use to hang it up always comes out. Whatever. Tommy Lee Jones, Two-Face Tommy Lee Jones is causing some trouble at a bank. Batman shows up, and Commissioner Gordon's there, and this woman named Dr. Chase Meridian is there, and Chase Meridian is really, really horny for Batman, and they're discussing how Two-Face works, which if you didn't know, the reason he's called Two-Face is because after he got, like, acid on his face, he now has, like, two personalities, Harvey and Two-Face. So he's basically always in this, like, state of fighting for control of his own body, but they don't really go into that in this movie. In this movie, he's literally basically just the equivalent of the Joker, but half of his face is pink, which really sucks because Two-Face is really interesting, but they don't really explore the whole Two-Face aspect. I think that some things got cut from this movie, and I think explaining or like fleshing out Two-Face was cut, because there was like a whole scene where Batman is like watching a documentary about how Two-Face became Two-Face, and I think that we were supposed to explore Batman's guilt of letting one of his bestest friends when he was a child, become this, like, crazy villain. But I think that got cut. And there's just remnants of that left over. I don't know if I'm right, though. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to feel stupid. So, anyways, bro is, using his coin, trying to bet on his hostage's life. He's not really doing too good, but he lives, but he's going to put him in this vault. That they're gonna put into the sky. Chase Meridian is also flirting with Batman right now, and then he leaves, and she's like, "Damn, rest in peace, Chase Meridian. You're literally me, and you would have loved character AI." I'm sorry, she would have. Two-Face sounds like Funtime Foxy from Ultimate Custom in this movie, especially if he shouts his lines. It's really, really weird. Batman gets trapped with the hostage in the sky, or not that, well, it wasn't in the sky, but the vault now goes into the sky with a helicopter, and the vault is filling up with acid because Two-Face wants to kill Batman, obviously. That's, like, what every supervillain wants to do to Batman. That, and also fuck him, but that's a story for another day. So it's going into the sky, and Batman takes this guy's hearing aid, the hostage's hearing aid, and somehow opens the vault, and then he's like holding onto this rope as he's trying to get up into the helicopter with Two-Faces, and they then crash into the Statue of Liberty, but it's the Gotham Statue of Liberty. Okay, 10 out of 10, no doubts. So that all happens, and Batman gets out of the water. Like, it's like this scene, and the music's really soft or whatever, really hot. That's really hot. That's hot. So now we're at Wayne Enterprises, and the Riddler is definitely fanboying. Rest in peace, Riddler. You would have loved TikTok thirst traps. But so will teenage girls. They will also miss those once it gets banned in America. So basically the Riddler is showing, well, he's not the Riddler yet, so I'll just call him Edward. Edward is showing off this cool new device that he made, where basically it can read the minds of people. Sure, it can read people's minds, and he's really excited because he's like, oh my god, guys, this is gonna innovate things. And Batman's like, no, we're not gonna actually use that because that's unethical. And the Riddler basically has this moment where he freaks the flip out, which is totally valid, by the way. The Riddler's crash out in this movie is valid. I will not be hearing anyone out. I'm the number one Riddler defender, but that's also probably because the Riddler is literally me. Like, I can't help but defend myself, you know? Like, when you're in a bad situation, you have to defend yourself, you know? That's the reason why James Charles refuses to stay canceled, you know? So, anyways, the Riddler is very upset that his invention is not going to be worked on with Batman. He's very, very upset, and this will come back later. This basically is his whole motivation is because Batman was like, no. He's like, well, now I have to, like, kill him. Reasonable crash out, guys. I don't want to hear anyone out. Reasonable crash out. Anyways, Chase Meridian sets off the bat signal, and Batman shows up, and she's basically just being really, really horny. Literally me. And he's considering it. He's considering it. Of course he would consider it, you know. Of course, who wouldn't consider something like that? Anyways, he then leaves because obviously it was nothing. Edward Nygma is using his machine on his boss after hours because his boss was like, I'm gonna fire you, why are you still here? Anyways, he uses it. He shows that his machine is unethical because it's like reading minds and it's like taking people's like mind memory juice, whatever the fuck, I don't know. It doesn't really make sense how this thing works, but it takes something from you and it's unethical, obviously. And then Jim Carrey is Jim Carreying, and then he throws his boss off a cliff because Wayne Enterprises in this movie is right by a cliff for some reason. Anyways, the cops rule it as a suicide. Batman is like, this was definitely not a suicide, what the freak? So then we get to go see the Riddler's apartment, which is the average apartment in New York City that costs $2,000 a month. You know? So he's really upset, so he's starting to make those Riddler trophies. You know, he's making threatening riddles on pieces of paper, and he's putting them out into the world. Fair enough. Reasonable crash out. You will never not see me defend this guy. I don't think we're ready to have that conversation about how I think Jim Carrey's Riddler was probably one of the most comic accurate versions of the Riddler. We're not ready to have that conversation yet. I don't think people want to have that conversation yet. But if you're wanting to have that conversation, let me know. We can have it. I am ready. I don't know if the rest of the community is, but I am ready. So he sends Batman like a weird, or I guess like Bruce Wayne, like a weird riddle, and he takes it to Chase Meridian, and he hears Chase Meridian punching a punching bag, but it sounds like she's getting plowed, and so he bursts down the door, and instead she's just punching a punching bag. And they talk, and it's like flirty, but they're talking about the Riddler, and then he invites her to go to be his date to the Gotham Circus event. What? Okay. I didn't realize circuses were that big in the 90s, but I guess they are. Dick Grayson is not a teenager in this movie or a child. Apparently he's supposed to be like 20 in this movie, which makes everything really confusing because why was he going to be put in social services if he's 20? Like, he can do what he wants. He's a grown-ass man. You know, like, he's driving a motorcycle. That's a grown man. He can do what he wants. Why? Whatever. He's doing Flying Grayson bullshit, and then, this cool, fun thing called Two-Face, yeah, he shows up again, and he's like, if Batman doesn't fucking reveal himself right fucking now, I'm gonna blow up this tent and everyone in it, because I hate you, Batman, And so hot Val Kilmer stands up and he's like, "Oh, I'm Batman," but no one hears him over everyone screaming and freaking out. Okay, babe. So the Flying Graysons are now trying to get this comically large bomb out of like the hole in the center of the tent at the top, and they do, but all of them but Dick get shot down by like guns and they fall to the ground and they're killed, and Dick Grayson's really sad because now he's the last member of his family. Yikes. The next day we cut to a horse humping a rock, but more importantly we cut to Commissioner Gordon escorting Dick Grayson over to Batman's house and being like, "Wow, you're so nice of him to take him in." And Dick Grayson's like, "Fuck you, I don't want to be taken in. I'm Dick Grayson, I'm an adult." And Batman basically guilt trips him into staying by showing him his motorcycle collection, and Alfred being like, "I made fish." Real, okay. So that happens, that's really fun, that's really chill. Dick Grayson really wants to kill Two-Face, which I guess is a reasonable crash out. I guess I would also want to kill the guy who killed my parents. Fine. Batman stares at pictures of his parents and he has like more flashbacks and he realizes how similar he and Dick's situation is, which I can't believe it took you staring at pictures of your parents to realize that. Whatever. Dick and Alfred talk and they have like a really touching moment where he talks about how his like dad or like mom called him Robin or whatever, and how he was like his hero to his dad, and Alfred's like, Alfred is really pushing for him to become a vigilante even when Bruce doesn't realize it. It's really funny. So Bruce is on patrol and he sees Harvey and like they get into like a whole fight, but he escapes because he goes up like an apartment building in the Batmobile, and Two-Face is like, "Urgh." Sure. The Riddler's trying to figure out his supervillain costume right now, and he figures it out, and then he goes to Two-Face's lair, and Two-Face is like, "Who the hell are you? Why shouldn't I kill you?" And he's like, "Chill, mamacita." I don't know why I said that. I haven't said that ever. He's just like, chill. We can work together because I want to kill Batman and you want to kill Batman. I have this really cool invention. We should like kill Batman together. And thus begins these two gay lovers. These are gay lovers, you know? It's really tragic what happens to them. Doomed yowie, yowie lovers rise up. Whatever. My friend who I watched this with said that the Riddler looks like what a drag queen looks like when they aren't in drag, and I've never resonated with something more. Because, like, you're correct. That is what a drag queen looks like when they aren't in drag. I don't know how to explain it, but the Riddler looks like if Trixie Mattel had hair. The Riddler and Two-Face have amazing chemistry. The Riddler makes a your brain went on drugs, like the egg thing from like the Ronald Reagan administration, peak cinema. So his invention goes on the market and like it's getting eaten up, and like the Riddler cone thing is just the Riddler's box, Enigma box, whatever the fuck it's called. I forget what it's called in the movie. It's just taking over and they're just stealing memories and shit. Fun. So Alfred, now we cut to Wayne Manor and Alfred's going into the Batcave, and Dick Grayson's really interested in this because this is the one door in the house that's locked. So he fucking you are 20 years old, by the way. This is a grown-ass man in this movie climbing over the walls and tapestries on the walls and like the banister of the stairway or whatever to just crash into the Batcave, and Alfred's like, oh. Whatever. So, by the way, Bruce doesn't know this is happening because he's over at Chase's house, and him and Chase are talking, and he sees Chase's porn stash, because she is definitely trying to manifest Batman kissing her, you know? Like, she has the Rose toy out, she's got the Batman porn stash, horny motherfucker. I love her. She's literally me. I wish to strive to be her. I remember a few months ago, the actress who played her went on an interview and said that one of the reasons she took this role was because she really wanted to kiss Batman. Real, you are one of the dolls. You are one of the girls. You are a dying breed of person. We need more horny Batman simps in the world. I'm telling you right now, we need more of them. More. I can't be the only one. I cannot continue this legacy alone, you know? Whatever. So he trauma dumps with her, and they're whatever. They're trauma dumping. They're having like chemistry building moments. He realizes she's really, really into Batman too. By the way, she's horny. Anyways, Alfred cockblocks him by telling him, hey, like he calls him on his like watch, and he's like, hey, you're never gonna guess what happened, but Dick took out the Batmobile, and he's like. Anyways, so Dick takes it out and he gets into trouble and he starts getting into like a fight, and it's like a really cool fight scene and like in like a cool neon part of Gotham City. It's really interesting. He gets ambushed, but then his compadre, his father, Batman, saves him, and he gets really upset and he starts punching Batman, and he's like, had you been there, had you said something, my parents would still be alive. And then he says, Bruce Wayne would have given up his life for your family, and that's complete bullshit. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Unrealistic billionaire. I'm calling it right now. Unrealistic billionaire. There's a reason he's a fictional billionaire. You know, like, this is not what a real billionaire would say. Like, I don't even have to believe. I know they wouldn't. You would never catch Elon Musk saying he would give up his life for a random-ass circus acrobat. You know? Whatever. So he takes it back and he gets upset because he's like, he took out the thing, and he's, like, the Batmobile, and Dick Grayson's like, you should let me fight crime, you know, I'm thinking of names. Nightwing? He says Nightwing, which, like, me and my friend both did the Leonardo DiCaprio, like, meme, you know? We did that because, like, Nightwing! Oh my god, Nightwing, Nightwing, Nightwing! 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 Oh my god! Ah! Yeah, that was us. So, Bruce is like, okay, no, and so he's like, okay, fuck you, I'm gonna go kill fucking, what's his face? I'm gonna go kill Two-Face. And he's like, no, because killing won't take the pain away. Now they're at a gala. Sure. They're at a gala. Chase, Dick, and Bruce are at a gala. Alfred's in his car, probably fucking playing, like, Candy Crushes on his phone because he's old. I shouldn't say that. That's so mean. So, Edward is trying to, like, rub it in his face that Enigma Tech stock is doing better than Bruce Wayne stock, and he's just like, because he's chill. He's a chill guy. He's humble. He's chill. The Riddler totally asked Batman to dance in the scene, but Chase takes the invite, and then he just stares at Batman like, you know this man wants to fuck him. Everyone in this movie is oddly horny for Batman. Like the two villains in Dr. Chase Meridian, which is like already half of the cast, is unbelievably horny for this guy. It is crazy to watch. Honestly, go read and watch Batman media, but pretend all of the characters are all exes, like all of Batman's characters are exes with him, like all the supervillains. Makes it 10 times more funny and more enjoyable to like read and watch, you know? There's just something about, like, queer love pentagrams, you know, that are just unbelievably funny. Because, as we all know, gay people, when they're in a close concentration, they create the craziest love pentagrams you have ever seen. They can't just date one person. They all date each other, you know? And that's basically Gotham City supervillains and Batman. Like, that's the best way to describe them, as they are the equivalent of a pentagram, queer love pentagram. Does that make any sense? So, they end up being able to get Batman's identity because he goes inside one of the, like, Riddler machines, and it shows his, like, what he's thinking about, and he's thinking about bats, because he's stupid. And anyways, Harvey gets impulsive, and he shows up, and he blows up the party, and Edward is really upset, because he's like, God fucking damn it, that wasn't why we were doing this, and Harvey's just like, fuck you, I do what I want, I'm Two-Face. Bruce fully leaves behind his son and his date, and he goes change into Batman in the car, and then he goes fight Harvey's goons, sure. And then Chase pauses him and is like, my house, midnight, and then they kiss. I want to be her. So Batman gets trapped in a sewer gas chamber. It literally says gas, and it's like, it's literally a gas chamber. I don't know how else to describe it. And, that feels like we shouldn't have done that. Anyways, Bruce survives, and then he survives the fire, and he survives but he does not. He almost doesn't survive when the fucking sewer collapses in on itself like a cave-in. But he survives because Dick Grayson, who brought his Flying Grayson costume, shows up, and he pulls him out, and he's like, hi! And Batman gets really upset at the Batcave, and he's like, what the hell were you thinking? What were you doing? girl, he saved your life. Be nice for like 1 minute. So then they go back and forth on like him wanting to help him and him being like, no, you can't help me. This is like 50% of their dialogue in this movie. So yeah. Batman is basically like, he then goes and shows up at Chase's house at midnight. She's in nothing. She's just sitting there in her bed in nothing. Real. She's so me. I want to be her so badly in this movie. Anyways, Chase admits that she's in love with Bruce Wayne now instead of him. And Batman walks away with the bat smile. And me and my friend paused the movie and laughed at this for like 3 minutes straight because it's so unbelievably funny both in and out of context of this movie. But anyways, he's happy because he's about to bag a baddie. Great. So the Riddler and Two-Face now have Batman's identity, and they're going to go to Batman's house, and they're going to go kidnap him or kill him or whatever. But at Wayne Manor, he tells Dick he's going to quit being Batman because he wants to bag a baddie, a blonde baddie, and I'm so mad. That should have been me screaming and crying, DC, please let me be a love interest in a Batman movie. I will not let you down. All those years of high school improv will pay off, I promise. Okay, anyways, his 26-year-old, 9-year-old son is upset because that's not what he wants. He wants to fight crime, but Bruce is over at fighting crime now because he's settling down, babes. And he's not gonna settle down, but he's gonna settle down. So Dick is upset, so he goes off with his motorcycle because he's gonna go to kill Two-Face alone because Bruce is just being an asshole. Harvey and Edward fully kiss and embrace outside of Wayne Manor. I'm not even kidding. They kiss and embrace outside of Wayne Manor's gates. Gay lovers. Gay lovers. There's no other word in the dictionary to describe kissing another man on the lips out of pure excitement. That is queer behavior. I don't know if the society is ready to hear that, but that is queer behavior. My queer kings. Kings, I stand them both in this movie. Everyone is so passionately acting their asses off in this movie. You would never believe that Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones behind the scenes could not stand each other. It's crazy. So anyways, Bruce has a PTSD moment at his house, but he's talking to Chase, and he's about to confess that he's Batman, but then Harvey breaks into his house with the Riddler, and the Riddler goes downstairs to the Batcave, and he's blowing everything up, and all I have to say to that is, Joygasm! Joygasm! So funny. We laughed for like 10 minutes about that. Joygasm! That's my favorite word. Me, when I get an A on my test, so in the middle of the class, I yell, Joygasm! I shouldn't yell that. I live with people. I shouldn't be yelling Joygasm at the top of my lungs in my bedroom. The Batcave is all getting blown up or whatever. Yikes. Harvey knocks out Bruce and he leaves him to die because he thinks he's gonna die, and he takes Chase with him. Sure. This movie is absolutely camp. My friend I watched this with said it's probably his favorite Batman movie, and I fear I may agree. So anyways, Bruce wakes up in bed and Alfred's like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, well, Chase got taken and Dick is AFK. We don't know where he is right now. And he's like, great. And they figure out that Edward Nygma is the Riddler, and Batman's bat signal gets a question mark over it, which was cool as hell. So finally, Dick Grayson shows up, and now he's in his own Robin suit, and Alfred's like, I designed it, by the way. I designed it. So he's just been pushing for this the entire movie, and he finally gets it. So now he's Robin. Fun. So he lets him go out on the boat. He's in the bat plane. They're doing their thing. Riddler and Two-Face play Battleship, but with the bat boat, and the bat boat gets blown up and it sinks, and so Batman has to save his 9-year-old, 20-year-old son, you know? They also blow up the bat plane too. Yikes. But anyways, they get to shore where these two are, and we're at the climax of the movie, okay, babes? And they get really upset, and Robin starts beating up Two-Face because he's like, you killed my parents! Ah! Anyways, Batman and the Riddler are having a confrontation because, in the time that he was beating him up, Robin also got captured, and so Chase and Robin are captured, and Riddler's like, you have to pick between this blonde bitch or your son. Or you could pick me. I'm pretty hot too. Also, the way he says sexual fantasies was crazy.
Sexual fantasies?
We need to talk about that as a society. I also air thrust when I say the word sexual fantasy while I'm standing up. You won't see that now. I'm not standing up. But trust. Batman gives the Riddler a riddle, and the riddle is just about being a blind as a bat, and then he destroys the blender cone at the top of the room, and the Riddler turns to mush, and the CGI is horrible, but it's really funny. And then the they both Robin and Chase start falling from the sky in their like tubes they were being held in, but don't worry, Batman saves them both, and it's fine. Harvey is about to kill them both, but something happens and he trips and he falls and he dies. But before he dies, he says, "You were always a good friend, Bruce." And that makes me think that there was going to be more between these two characters that was just cut, because that's the first time in the entire movie he has, like, mentioned... Well, I mean, he didn't know Batman was Bruce Wayne, but this is, like, the first time we've actually seen, like, the whole Two-Face thing happen. So I'm convinced something was cut. Whatever. Harvey dies, whatever. The Riddler's in Arkham Asylum, and he says he knows who Batman is, but he doesn't. He's just joking. Chase and Bruce say goodbye, and Alfred's like... they don't break up, and in the next movie, they're broken up. Robin and Batman run into the camera, and I screamed and cried, because that's really scary. Final thoughts on this movie, 8 out of 10, I have no notes. The reason there are 2 stars less is because you guys butchered Batman and Robin really hard, like Dick Grayson and Bruce's dynamic. You butchered it really hard. And the second reason is because, I wasn't in it. Yeah. That is all I have to say about this movie. This movie is unbelievably camp, but it's really funny. And I'm sorry if you wanted me to dig into these movies. I can't dig it. I can't hate. I can't hate these movies. These movies are peak. These movies are fire. Because I like silly, goofy, haha. This is silly, goofy, haha. If you need to laugh really hard, just go watch this movie with someone. Like, this is peak. Next week we're going to be watching Batman and Robin. I've never seen that one. I doubt it's going to be that good, though. Because this one was probably more competent in Joel Schumacher's filmography, probably because it wasn't like full Joel Schumacher, but Batman and Robin is full Joel Schumacher, and I doubt it's gonna be that good. I don't know. We'll find out.